Lost Ark video. This isn't really a guide, but we're just gonna recap quickly pretty much the most important things that we've seen on the LOA mini or LOA on mini, I guess, press conference or something we'll call this. Or let me just tell you that it's gonna be a massive update, or a massive wave of updates rather, that are coming towards Lost Ark, and some of these changes are apparently, don't quote me on that one, but it seems, if I understood this correctly from the LOA mini, and before that, huge shout out to Saint One and AGM, who basically live streamed and live translated the entire event. That was super helpful because we got to understand almost, or pretty much everything that they said. That was super helpful. So I think we understood quite a lot of the changes that are coming, but I do want to recap and highlight a few things that I think are really important. So yeah, this is the website with a roadmap, what we're gonna get. These are essentially a 3-month plan of a wave of enormously large updates and content changes we're gonna get. So it starts off with the summer event, which is a couple of minigames. I do also have the video here. Basically the trailer, the nostalgia trailer, where almost everything that is listed here is also showcased really quickly. So I'll quickly skim over that, and then we're going to check the video and talk about this really quickly as well. This is here, hold up. This here in the bottom corner is basically a compression or a rework of the upgrade system. Since they kind of understood the feedback that was given was that progression seems to be at times really difficult or not really streamlined, so there's gonna be a compression happening, which is incredibly good for existing but also especially new players. This is another event which is basically like a fast path, a highway to 1415, so something like similar to the Akrasia Express event we got in Russia. They get this very often in Korea. Not sure if we'll ever see this in Russia, but this is also very important. Whether or not we get this is yet to be seen. This is probably going to be the Biakis, or I think this is Biakis, rehearsal mode. I don't really know what this one is. That is a new Guardian raid. This is probably the Avril should raid, the Nightmare mode. This is probably the most, and this may be a monumental change, or another monumental change in the Lost Ark scene. Apparently this raid, or whatever you want to call this raid, is probably the most applicable term, is supposedly so difficult and so long that you will be able to save your progress. Essentially, this is like a 6-stage fight or something, or even more stages, and you get to save your progress in between stages. So once you clear stage 1, the next day or 2 days or whenever your party's ready again, you're gonna go there and start from stage 2. So essentially you can save your progress in an online game. This is incredibly cool and also interesting, because I don't recall from the top of my head that something like that exists in any other game. So I think if they pull this off the right way, and I think they do have the means that it takes to do it, would be pretty fantastic. Then we have the Sorceress update, which is basically the Elemental Mage. A chat update, a apparently completely new Guardian raid, the Monkey raid, the Esther Weapons, which are probably going to be insanely crazy or something, and then a bunch of other quality of life changes. This is probably a new path, and the zoo. But without further ado, we're going to take a look at this trailer. So, yeah. So these are 3 of the Legion Commander raids. This might be a little bit too loud. Which, if I'm not mistaken, they will actually get a rehearsal mode. So yeah, this is actually something to redo again. And now this is the main kicker. And I'll just say this is, before we go actually on, the Albershud, or the Rohendel dungeon, that essentially is sort of like your stage, if you will, is by far, I think, the most well-designed dungeon in terms of visual, sound design, and what they did in terms of mechanics. So it's incredibly good, and you'll see a small glimpse of that here. this, for example, that you're running upside down, it's a lot of an illusionist, or a lot of illusions are happening throughout her stage, so this is probably gonna, if they pull this off the right way and they don't let people overpower this with gear, this is gonna be crazy. Obviously I can't speak Korean, so don't ask me what she just said. And then this is probably the most interesting part for a lot of people, the Sorceress, or short Sorc, gameplay footage that we've seen. Classic elemental spells, fire, earth, lightning, the classic meteor, super flashy, classic elemental mage. Very good looking, and okay, I think my browser just froze. This is an incredibly good looking class. This is, like I said, one of the new guardians that we'll get. I think this is a guardian. This seems to be a 4-man raid. And also coming up with that is the new, and they apparently also went for a new design, so this is not something we have seen before apparently, which is gonna be interesting, I think. For some reason this reminds me of the monkey fight in Sekiro. I don't really know why, but I somehow get flashbacks with that. So yeah, this is like I said, almost everything when it comes to like content updates that are coming in terms of really playable content. Now we're gonna, I'll probably have to pause this very often here. So this is basically the summer stuff that we're gonna get. The first thing here, these are bracelets. For those of you who played in Season 1, we did have bracelets in Season 1. Though, first of all, I didn't really like bracelets. They were pretty much a pain in the ass to farm. They were pretty annoying to get. And the statistics they gave were kinda not really reflecting the amount of effort you had to put in. So I'm curious to see if they will just bring them back, but I suspect that they will change or put a twist onto that. But we have yet to see how this goes. Esther Weapons, the only thing we know, or the only two things I think we know so far, is these are going to be hard to obtain, and they will basically be very powerful and can be evolved or something. So I don't really know how exactly they will play out compared to normal content, and whether or not this is something to really work for, or if this is something really only for the elite of the players, if they put enough time into that. We have yet to see how these actually play out. These are new legendary avatars. So legendary avatars are, some of them, especially the older ones, don't look nearly as good as the new ones, so they apparently want to scratch that up and basically bring, especially the older ones that don't look as flashy, something new. This is a zoo, which basically in your estate you can put your pets down there, which we don't really know if it does anything. Probably doesn't. This is a more streamlined adventure for the prologue, which some classes don't even have a prologue anymore, so they actually adjusted and reworked the starting progress. This is the gear compression that I talked about. Like you can see, reduction, this is apparently 30% less shards. This seems like 50% less of these materials needed, and also the chance seems to be increased by 20%. Engraving rework, if I'm not mistaken, so there might be new engravings coming. This is, I think, something with fashion. You can craft new fashion outfits. 2 new engravings, or at least 2 new engravings are coming. This is an in-game chat system, or like a chat room. So imagine you can not only whisper people, but actually make like a chat room for people to join and chat with. This, I have no idea what the hell this is. This is another quality of life feature where they would expand the current preset manager. So now we can preset your gear, your engravings, your gems, your skills, and your card set. As currently you basically have a preset for skills, and then you have to adjust your gear for that, and then you have to go into the card system. They will now condense this into one window, where you basically have access to all of this on the get-go, and you can make like a full or almost a full template when it comes to that for... Yeah, this is probably PvE, but I suspect this is going to be expanded to GVG or multiple things basically here as well. A quality of life feature, again, they will adjust something without the inventory. I don't really fully know what they were going to change, but the better the inventory it is to manage them, the better it is going to be for us. Some guild changes. These are guild bosses. This, let me quickly clean up my voice. This is gonna be another monumental change. This is gonna be a DPS meter, or I don't really want to call it DPS meter, but this is gonna be a measurement training dummy in Trixion or Trixion, which means that we finally don't have to take screenshots of our numbers, but you actually get to see, like, this seems very barebone, right? But keep in mind that I think they said a while ago that there was no intention to create such a thing as a DPS meter because they didn't want to force people to play a specific way. But this is only available in the training mode, which means you can test out builds, you can test out tripods, and I think this is a very, very good feature because a lot of people still do this, and this is pretty annoying right now to get all of the numbers in right. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good change. Like I said, this for now seems very barebone. I think in the future they will hopefully expand this to allow us to choose engravings, gear, or anything to like fully customize your builds in Trixion or Trixion to really get an idea of what the potential DPS is going to be. But even without all of this, this is an incredibly good start and good way or good step in the right direction. This is going to make a lot of people happy. This alone is incredibly worthwhile. Multiple voice lines for characters. More outfits, if I'm not mistaken. A summer event, which basically is something similar that you probably have seen on the Russian server that I did on stream already. There's going to be mini games that will allow you to do stuff. So this is like a Naruni race again, but apparently this time you are the Naruni and you're doing like a like you're running the gauntlet here, as it seems. Like this is a parkour that you gotta do. This is like another finesse. This reminds me a little bit of Warlock. If you played Warcraft 3, the custom map called Warlock, this is something that it kind of reminds me of. Or you probably just try to push people off this platform. New outfits. This is the express route that I said, which basically is like it's probably gonna be exactly the same as a Crosshair Express. Do certain missions, get a box that will give you materials. Do another mission, follow this route, and if you did that until the very end, you're gonna hit 14-15. Probably some more promotions, no clue. Merchandise, a plushie, this, I don't really know what this is. Seems like a closet or something, a CD, wall, or like wallpapers. Basically art stuff or stuff that you can buy and put into your house, into your car. Pretty good though. And yeah, this is sort of like a preview of the summer event. I think this is all for the content that this trailer has. We're gonna see the Mexican Mokoko here. So yeah, this is essentially all that is awaiting us at some point in the future. We don't really know. Like I said, this is called Nostalgia. I don't really know if that's a fantasy name, if there's some meaning behind this. I think this is incredibly good. I would, I even said this in one of the streams, I think this is sort of something like Lost Ark 2.5. So if you were, like, we turned into Season 1 last year. If all of the things that are in this update are on the servers live, you can probably call this Lost Ark 2.5 or something. There are, again, monumental changes and system changes to make the game better and to allow people to enjoy this game in a better way for, like, literally for the players, right? This is incredibly good, and with what they have shown when they transition from Season 1 to Season 2, I definitely think they can pull this off and make this game even greater, which, to my understanding at least, with the updates and the stuff that we've seen here, definitely seems to be the case. Anywho, to wrap this up, like I said, some of these changes are supposedly going to be there for the European and North American servers on launch. We don't obviously know what it's going to be, But the sheer fact that they will actually bring some of this content to us is I think fantastic news for us. Thanks everybody for sitting through these 14 or 15 minutes of time with me. Thanks everybody for joining me, and yeah, if you want to see me live and want to chat with me live, I do stream occasionally, typically on Monday 1700 CST. So if you're willing to check my stream chat out as well for that, be sure to do that. The links are in the description below. Also the link to this video, the link to the official website, and the link to the press conference, which they actually, where they talked about this in a 4-hour, 43-minute long press conference. All of these links are going to be in the description below as well. So be sure to check those out if you want to get more in-depth info. Last but not least, I do hope this was somehow helpful and maybe intrigue some of you guys and girls to try out Lost Ark or be looking forward to the NA and DU server. So keep your eyes peeled. Thanks everybody for being here. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys next time.